especially after 9/11 happened, there was like big chaos and whatnot. My parents were really scared to let me go anywhere, and since I live in New York, like security has been heightened up a lot. More or less, my life is the same as it always was before anything happened. The only difference is that like occasionally I'll get stopped on the train and like searched.
Since we live in the city of Ramallah, you know there's a lot of problems in the city, and we go through a lot of hardships. Well, my family and friends have helped me come through these difficulties with a lot of strength, and that's why I'm here. Especially when this intifada started, which is, it's a war, yeah? And I seen a lot of, like traumatizing stuff in my life. I seen like people being killed.
I remember that.
What, does Anglo criticize the United States for bombing Cambodia? In nature? That's like...
Well, I've been in this school since kindergarten, and I guess the main reason that I came to the school was because of it's the best school in Ramallah.
Cualquiera de esos tres están correctos, ¿ok? Cualquiera de esos tres. Okay, ¿quién sigue? Valdín.
My parents decided to pick BFS as the school I attend because they saw that the school was very close-knit. The students knew each other well, the faculty knew each other well. When she came to visit, she didn't notice any big problems. My educational expectation is quite simple. I want to do the best I can do every time. I want to get into a really good school. My goal is to go to a good college and get through med school.
I'm grateful. You should respect me. You should be thankful.
My passion and my love goes towards more scientific research stuff and more experimental sides of life. What I'm going to study in the future is going to have to do with politics and international law. I want to bring peace to the Middle East so that all the Palestinians can come back and so that we can build Palestine. Why, like, from the things we see daily, like mothers sacrificing their lives for their children, everything mothers do for their children, you can't say, people like Nora, they're problem minorities. I really like to play soccer and basketball. And I have been playing both sports ever since I was young. I'm the student council president. I work, for example, with the USAID in helping, facilitate where money goes in Palestine. I work with the YMCA in making workshops for students.
I am captain of the Model UN team. I play basketball. I like teaching children at the mosque.
Do it again. Bounce, pass. Stay right there.
My attendance at this Quaker school isn't much different, I suspect, from the normal everyday teen at the school. There's occasionally these little jokes about, oh, he's Arab or he's a Muslim, and it's like little jokes that they don't mean nothing when they say it, but it's just a little joke, and that's it.
Well, I don't go through any of that. Contrarily, I go through like he's a Muslim. He's one of us, he's from the same country, we need to help him. There's probably more Muslims than there are Christians, which is something real good for a Quaker school. Me being a Muslim in a Christian school, there's no differentiation. We all believe the same things, we all believe in all the Quaker values. And for that reason, you can't really ask how Quakerism is demonstrated by people. We don't demonstrate it, we live it.
After my sister died, I was in a whole lot of pain. I didn't know what to do. I was emotionally numb. When my grandmother came, she made me go to the mosque and pray 5 times a day, where previously I'd barely ever go to the mosque. I don't think I even knew where the mosque was. After she had me praying a lot, she had the imam, which is basically the priest of the mosque, teach me how to read the Quran. I learned the Quran, which is to say that I memorized it. My faith journey has gotten to the point where I am a hardcore Muslim. I guess I could say I'm a hardcore Muslim. I pray 5 times a day. I give to the poor. I fast during Ramadan and after Ramadan. The only thing I haven't done is done my Hajj, which I hopefully will be able to do someday before I pass away.
When we're young, we need our parents to tell us this is right and this is wrong. Because if they weren't there, we would be eating sand. It's the same thing with religion. And sometimes, to me, I view my faith as, my conscience. Let's say ever since I was young, I had that, like conflicting emotions. You really start to grasp the meaning of religion when you start becoming a teenager during your adolescence. I mean, I haven't been always, my whole life, I haven't spent it on the straight line of religion. My journey was a zigzag journey. It wasn't straight. I wasn't going straight into the church. No, I kept going around our mosque. And so till now, then, I got 10th, 11th, 12th. And, you have to deal with a lot of stuff that religion doesn't really, especially Islam, it doesn't really, accept this kind of stuff. Stuff like what can I say? Stuff like not listening to your parents. Sometimes you just can't listen to your parents. Sometimes you listen to them, but it takes time. No one is perfect. No one can just say, okay, my religion says I need to listen to my parents, so I'm going to listen to them. Even though what they're saying may be right, you still have that instinct to say, no, you're wrong, I'm right. And to me, being religious isn't about, being a person who spends his whole life in the mosque praying, or a person who fasts the whole year, or a person who, who tries to be, like a Mr., like he's in good shoes and he's always going straight. Yeah? No, a religious person is a person who knows when he strays and comes back to what's right.
The principles of Quakerism fit well with Islam, such as it teaches peace, and Islam is technically the religion of peace. It teaches equality. It teaches community. Not only Muslims, but all religions are basically supposed to have this brotherhood.
Open the let's say, Bible, or we open the Quran and read what it really says. They're not saying something that's really different. They all ask you to be patient, to have a lot of good values, not to lie, for example, not to commit murder. They all ask the same thing and the Quakerism, as I said, is universal with its values, and these values are found in Islam. Especially since I'm in this school where I'm a Muslim and I take Islamic religion, and I'm very, every day I'm introduced to a new Quaker ideal. And I look, okay, I read this in the Quran. Now the Quakers are saying it, yeah? And it's the same thing. So that's the type of similarities. Some differences may be in the miracles we believed happened in the past, the number of prophets, stuff like that. To me, these differences, are really not worthy being debated as hard as, how to live your life. These differences, they're history.
My best experience at school was probably the fact that I made a lot of friends here. Previously, I had a lot of friends though, but the thing is, they were mostly Muslim. Back home, they know that I have a lot of Jewish friends, and they're like, don't you know that there's a big conflict between the two religions? And I'm like, you can be Christian, you can be Muslim, you can be Jewish, but you can still have friends within that religion.
I try to make people see my opinion, and I try to make them follow it, but voluntarily. And being school president, I was able to do that. And I can't say, I got to the heart of everyone, but I did get to the heart of many. And that's, one of the greatest experiences a person can have in their life is when they know, they affected a person, they affected their beliefs. They affected, what they think, what they do, how they act, how they treat other people. And when you learn that, it was your, you did that to the person, you become really happy.
10 years from